What's up? Welcome back to Nostalgia. Dave here with a review of Lana Del Rey's ninth album. Did you know that there's a tunnel under Ocean Boulevard? Once again, Lana giving us an exceedingly long title, as she's done before. Long titles, long track titles. This is her thing. And yeah, it's been a little bit since we got a Lana record. Of course, Lana gave us two albums in 2021, took off last year, back here once again, coming off the feature off Taylor Swift's Midnight. So Lana's been around. You can look at the Spotify numbers. People are streaming it, streaming the song with Taylor. And, you know, I wasn't super high on Chemtrails. I didn't really care for Blue Banisters at all. And that really disappointed me because I absolutely love Norman fucking Rockwell from 2019, the album that preceded those two. So I didn't really know what to expect going into album 9 here. Lana's been at it a long time and she's had many different eras in her career, both in terms of her public persona and the things she does outside of music and things she says and controversies, things like that, but also like just simply like with the music, her like sonic choices and her production stylings have really evolved over time. And I thought Norman fucking Rockwell really shined a light on Lana Del Rey's storytelling and put that in an amazing light and really shined a light on that songwriting. And then Chemtrails and Blue Banisters kind of took me out of it again because I just wasn't into the, kind of Americana like folk genre choices that she had kind of gravitated towards with that. Blue Banisters was the first album in a while she hadn't done anything with Jack Antonoff. She's back with Jack on Ocean Boulevard here. He's on the majority of the songs on the producing side of things. And overall, I think Ocean Boulevard does a good job at getting back to, I think, those Lana strengths. And also, interestingly, I think brings even further back in Lana's past out once again. That would be really the back half, back third of Ocean Boulevard. We hear trap production again. Of course, trap production was a huge, kind of controversy from Lana's, like, mid career with stuff like Lust for Life. Lana kind of like bringing in hip hop in a confusing way. But to kind of bring trap in uh, on the production side again, I think it works a lot better this time around, comes off at least a little bit more genuinely. So that was kind of interesting to me. And overall, I think this is a lot. Um, it's a smoother listen, I think, than like the last two records, and I definitely like Ocean Boulevard more than the last two. Um, I think just plainly, like, Lana does a really good job again at showcasing her songwriting talents. I think she's really come into her own with that. And even if I have genre and production choices of hers that I like more than others, the songwriting has definitely leveled up since Norman fucking Rockwell really has like a new point in her career. So that thankfully is still there. And I think there's, just a few moments though on this album that really stood out to me. I thought overall, it's a long album. It's 16 songs, an hour 17 minutes. A lot of these tracks are quite long. There's also a few interludes, like you have the Judah Smith interlude, which is like a preacher sermon, just straight up. Don't know if we necessarily need that, TBH, but the track that precedes that is one of the lead singles, A&W, which was previously titled American Horror. I think that is a really strong song, like straight up. That one, the strings on that sound amazing, and just like the lyrics, like Lana kind of talking about like aging women. She's not talking about herself, but she might as well could be. The line about still being a side piece at age 33. I think that's a really, I think, engaging piece of songwriting from Lana, and that song has been pretty successful as a single. So it's I think right in line with kind of what you want from her as a storyteller. I thought Kintsugi was pretty strong as well. And then the back half really started to grab me. Like, I thought Father John Misty sounded great with Lana on Let the Light In. And then my favorite song on the album will be Margaret, featuring Bleachers. Bleachers, of course, is Jack Antonoff. And that is a song that, Lana has written songs and performed songs that aren't about her before. And she kind of does that a step further with Margaret because Margaret is about Jack, her close friend and producer, but also about Jack's life, specifically his marriage to Margaret Qualley, the actor, hence the titular Margaret here. And I think that song just the sweeping piano of it all, I think is like really epic, and the vocal line, like the "when you know" part, you start to get Jack singing with Lana repeating that refrain. I think it sounds incredible, and just kind of like a cool concept from Lana to kind of take that further. I think that one is really effective. The last track you have a Taco Truck XVB that kind of obviously is flipping the original version of Lana's song "Venice Bitch" from Norman fucking Rockwell. I think that sounds really cool. Kind of again, like I said, bringing in trap into the vibe there, definitely different. You have the Tommy Genesis sample on Peppers, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think ultimately, like, if you're a Lana Del Rey fan, I think this does a really good job of giving you what you want because at the end of the day, Lana as a singer has such a texture to her voice, and she's able, I think, to communicate a lot with how she sings. And when the production is more, I think, lively and agreeable, at least to me, on an album like Ocean Boulevard, it starts to really shine. Do I think this is as strong as Norman fucking Rockwell? No, I do not. But I hold that album in such high esteem that I shouldn't really hold that against her other records. But overall, I think this is definitely a step back into the direction that I'm more interested in from her. And I do think it's pretty inspired to hear her bring in trap in a just straight up just do it again after you know not doing it at all. And the fact that her last album was so folky, to have trap on the subsequent album, it kind of shows you like the chameleon that she can be with her choices, but she's always still able to back it up with the songwriting and with the unique texture of her voice. So, an interesting figure in pop, as I think everyone knows at this point. But yeah, I think for the ninth album from Lana Del Rey, it's hard to be too critical of this one. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. But let me know, how'd you feel about this? We got a lot of Lana the last few years. How would you compare this to the past few albums? Did you like her choices on this? And for more music reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.